I know this is really late. I should have made this video a while ago. I'm going to say it. Brandon Leake never should have won America's Got Talent 2020. And he did not win $1 million. Keep watching. I'll tell you why. So a lot of you may not be familiar with what's happened in 2020 with America's Got Talent. I've done a video on it. Others have done videos on it. There's been a lot of videos on that topic and people showing their own evidence or proof or whatever to suggest that America's Got Talent doesn't even count your votes, doesn't even care. I mean, if the show's pre-recorded, how could they? Regardless of what they say super fans are. Even if I still somehow believed that your votes mattered, the spoken word, skibble dibble statch. There we go. I spoke a word. Give me an award, Simon. I am not trying to discount anything that he does. Okay, what Brandon Leake does is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, the spoken word, he does poetry, he does stuff. I mean, if you look at Brandon Leake's website, it basically portrays exactly what it is and what it should be. A guy speaking in a throw-up tent somewhere in a park with some jazz drums over on the side, because that's how many people are interested in the spoken word. I mean, let's be honest. People that are really into poetry probably aren't watching America's Got Talent. Sure, there's some. Okay, I get that. But you're telling me when you put up somebody reading some poetry, as moving as it may be, you take that and you put it up against a phenomenal singer or artist or someone with some kind of a talent or skill. You're telling me that someone just telling you about their life experience is going to win? There's literally anyone can tell you about something awful that happened in their past. You tell me that's good enough to get up on a stage in Las Vegas and entertain people? No way. You don't go to Las Vegas to hear some guy get up on stage and start talking about some heartfelt sob story for whatever reason. People don't. They don't go there for that. They go there for gambling and hookers. They don't go there to hear somebody rattle off a sob story. I'm sorry, it's mean and it's cruel, but I said it because it's also true. You're not going to travel across the country to go see somebody spit out some lines about some poetry or about some sad stuff. It's just not going to happen. It's just not. And if you're one of the few people, all 5 in the country, that have flown across the country to go see some random person perform a poem in a coffee shop somewhere, well, you're a loser. Not that there's anything wrong with poetry. There's nothing wrong with poetry, all right? There's nothing wrong with the spoken word. There's nothing wrong with sharing your life experiences up on stage. I think it's totally fine and a very difficult thing to do, I might add. But how is that considered $1 million act? It's almost like they picked him for other reasons. Which, by the way, that $1 million, which I have said in other videos, is not even $1 million. It's $25,000 a year for 40 years. And that's before taxes. Or you can take a lump sum of $300,000 before taxes. Don't believe me? Go check out any website anywhere that says anything about the AGT $1 million grand prize. This is from goodhousekeeping.com. Just another random website talking about this because there's literally hundreds of them. It is a proven fact. Random commenter who thinks that I'm lying. At the end of each episode, AGT viewers will notice a disclaimer that explains that the $1 million is payable on a financial annuity over 40 years, or the contestant may choose to receive the present cash value of such annuity. Forbes did the math on the prize back in 2011 and concluded that if a contestant opted for the first option of receiving payouts over 40 years, that means they could only receive about $25,000 a year before taxes. Otherwise, the outlet, Forbes, said if the winner opted to receive the present cash value, they'd only get about $300,000 before taxes. I've seen a lot of videos saying, what's Brandon Leake gonna do with all the $1 million grand prize? What's he gonna do? He's gonna invest that $1 million back into his community. And all right, so he's gonna get about 20 grand after taxes a year. What's he gonna do? Gonna buy one Prius a year for 40 people? I mean, honestly, people, they hype it up so much as if he's going to do all these grand, amazing things. You're going to buy a house. Be honest, man. I saw an interview with Access, how AGT winner Brandon Leake will suspend $1 million prize. There are people out there who still think that they just like,
you won! Here's your award!
Here's $1 million. If that is how it actually worked, there is no way anybody could convince me that the spoken word would actually win a contest like this, because they got to make their money back on that. And they got to know that people aren't buying tickets. They're not flying out of their seats, especially during COVID, to run down to Las Vegas Strip and go watch some guy read off some poetry. That's ridiculous that people actually believe this. And if you want to know something that's actually poetic, 2-3 months ago, if you had searched up the words America's Got Talent leaked, you would have found a plethora of videos exposing America's Got Talent and leaked footage, leaked information, and leaked conversations, all kinds of leaked evidence exposing them, showing how they were fake. It just so happens that if you search AGT leak now, what do you think pops up? I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty coincidental. It would seem that there are more than a few reasons why AGT would want this guy to be their winner. This guy's name is Brandon Leake. He's gonna win. What can he do? Nothing. Tell him to write a story about his past. Got it. And all he had to do was have the last name that fit the situation. I don't know. It just seems very coincidental is all. So I gotta wonder, is this some kind of shoddy attempt to cover up all of these leaks that AGT was having over the past year or so in 2020? And just looking at the number of views that this guy has gotten, he's got one video from 3 months ago that's got 6.7 million views, which is probably what caused them to say, hey, let's pick this guy as a winner. Look at the amount of views that he's gotten on his videos. It's all of his performances, 387,000 views from 2 weeks ago. As far as AGT's views go, that's kind of par for the course. It might even be a little low, especially considering that it is all of his performances. If you haven't seen any of his performances and you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you a very small clip, but to be honest, it just really doesn't even seem like a $50,000 act, if I'm being honest.
Because normally, death don't really bother me. I mean, I'm from Southside Stockton. I'm all too familiar with how some family reunions only ever take place on graveyard grass and how a hole can be a safe haven for a soul in this mortal game of hide and go seek. But I'm tired of trying to earn the title of being called your son as if it wasn't my birthright. So you know what, Dad? Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. I listen to your mother sing this song to you every night.
Like I said, there's nothing wrong with the spoken word. There's nothing wrong with reading poetry. But do I think that he won off of that talent? Absolutely not. I think that Simon and whoever else is involved in picking the winners, because it's obviously not the viewers, thought, we can save a little face. We can get a little good PR. We can make it look like we're hip with the youngsters. We can fit right into what we think the mold should be for a winner, regardless of whether they actually have any talent. Now, America's Got Talent aside, they have promoted the crap out of this. So yeah, some of the views on their videos, they're going to be a little higher. So, 300, 400,000 views on his video isn't all that great for the winner of America's Got Talent. But if you go to a different show, in places where he has shown up and performed, like The Ellen Show, for example. He went on to The Ellen Show and the video only got 50,000 views. Kind of proves my point. Nobody cares. That's my point. Just going based on all of this stuff, why is AGT even still a thing? Like, why do people even still watch America's Got Talent? I don't get it. It's obviously a sham. There's no consideration whatsoever for what the actual audience wants or who they want to win or who they think is worth $1 million. Because if you're telling me that millions of people thought that some guy doing the spoken word, like, I don't even know how you would say doing that. Doing the spoken word, reading the spoken, performing the spoken word. It just sounds freaking weird, man. If you tell me that millions of people believed that the spoken word was actually going to be a successful $1 million show in Las Vegas, Nevada, I just don't think I'd believe it. I mean, people are really dumb, yes, but are people that dumb? I don't know. I know there's a lot of people out there that are basically just sheep and they're a sucker for a good story. And if somebody tells them something's cool, they'll believe it. And they'll say, yeah, you're right. That is cool. So AGT puts all this stuff out there, says the spoken word's cool. And then people actually start buying into it because they're freaking sheep. Take a look at some of these comments, for example. And this is your winner, period. Edit. Was I wrong? You're telling me that you predicted that this guy was going to win before and didn't just go back and edit the comment after he won? I think the lack of audience cheering made this even more emotional with silence in the background. I don't know what to say. I just want him to win this season. Because America's Got Talent is like promoting this guy so much that it somehow makes him worthy of $1 million show. And again, I'm not discounting anything that he does. I have no issue with any of that. My problem is that they're trying to feed us this narrative that somehow we should be loving the spoken word. I don't freaking love it, man. I think it's Okay, damn sure ain't gonna fly to Las Vegas to go see it. I'd go to see Marcelito Pomoy or some other kind of artist or someone that spent years building a talent, you know, refining a skill, actually becoming good at something, rather than just speaking out your emotions. I mean, literally anyone can do that. If you look at the views that America's Got Talent's been getting over the last however long, you can see they're just not that great. It's just not good. And I can tell that they're struggling. I can tell that they're having a hard time, and they're trying to make people think that they're cool with the youth. They're down with the youngsters because they even did a video with David Dobrik. When else have they had social media influencers come on the show or be on their YouTube channel? Maybe it has happened. I don't know. Maybe. And I just haven't seen it. Even that only got 166,000 views with David Dobrik in it. I mean, this is freaking David Dobrik we're talking about. This guy gets hundreds and hundreds of millions of views a month, and they get 166,000 views with David Dobrik in their video. It just doesn't add up. It's kind of starting to seem like the ship is literally sinking. They're not even taking buckets of water out. They're just peeing in it so it smells as it sinks. It's not a good time for anyone. I've done some videos on America's Got Talent. Thought I'd give you my piece on this. And I probably won't be watching them anymore. 2 seasons in a row that they have really screwed the pooch. And I don't plan on sticking around for the 3rd. What do you guys think? Should he have won? Put it down in the comment section below. Is there somebody else that you thought should have won? Broken Roots, who seemed like really just like a one bad bar fight away from having to rent out loaner guitars for the rest of their life. I mean, it doesn't seem like award-winning talent to me. I'm not an expert. I've only been playing music for 25 years. I don't know anything about talent. But I damn sure know this ain't it. No offense, Broken Roots. Should have sang country songs. Probably would have done better. Just saying.